Alrighty, guys, we got a lot to break down in this video. We got to go over energy stocks, Joe Biden, Chinese stocks, my thoughts on the market. So we have no time to waste. Sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee, get your 10 stocks from Moomoo, link down below, and your 6 stocks from Webull. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive right into it. So it's currently about 12:40 p.m. We have the Russell and the NASDAQ. Those are doing quite well today. Both of them are up over 1%, roughly 1%, 1.04 for the Russell, 1.07 here for the NASDAQ. We have the S&P 500 up 0.2% as the Dow is down 0.1%. So the S&P and the Dow aren't doing as well, as we have the VIX down over 5% right now, and gold down 0.4%, silver down 1.2%. So before we dive into the markets, let's just dive right into energy stocks, crude oil, what's going on there. Then we'll talk about the markets in general, and then we'll get into some stocks, including the Chinese stocks. So let's get into it. Right now, crude oil is taking a nosedive. Crude oil is down 6.2%, sitting right around $108 a barrel, and it's down over $7 a barrel as I'm filming this video. And you guys can see it's completely collapsing under the lows from just yesterday. The lows yesterday were 110, so we took the lows out there, and it's trading at a multi-week low, pretty much at a month low at this point in time. And if I pull up the 4-hour chart on crude oil, you guys can see it is still fighting to hold the uptrend. In fact, it is actually still holding the uptrend, so this still looks pretty decent on the 4-hour chart as of now. But the second it starts getting towards the low hundreds, and I mean 100, 101, 102, and if it breaks under there, that is where the trend could start reversing to the downside. But I'm not too convinced that that is where we're headed, because at this point, the oil markets, the energy markets, they're just spooked in the short term because of what good old Joe Biden just ended up saying, guys. So let's get into that, and we'll talk more about kind of something that is a bit contradictory here, however the heck you say that word, you know what I mean. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. So Joe Biden, in his words, I think this came out yesterday, within the past 24 hours. You guys have probably heard of it. If not, here we are talking about it now. He said, your companies, as in the energy companies, need to work with my administration to bring forward concrete near-term solutions that address the crisis and respect the critical equities of energy workers and fence line communities, Joe Biden wrote. Well, I guess he wrote that. I'm prepared to use all tools at my disposal as appropriate to address barriers to providing Americans affordable, secure energy supply. So at this point, he's pretty much threatening these energy companies. And if you guys didn't hear, ExxonMobil actually responded to Joe Biden. Let's talk a little bit about that. They ended up saying, we have been in regular contact with the administration to update the president and his staff on how Exxon has been investing, yada, yada, yada. This includes investments in the U.S. of more than $50 billion over the past 5 years, resulting in an almost 50% increase in our U.S. production of oil during this period, yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, they responded. I don't want to get too deep into that. You guys can see the screenshot right here. So that ended up happening. And he ended up saying, and by he, I mean Joe Biden, he ended up saying, there's no question that Vladimir Putin is principally responsible for the intense financial pain the American people and their families are bearing. And what did I say a couple of videos ago, guys? Everybody and their grandma is blaming Putin and blaming, Russia, Ukraine. Even in a lot of these earnings reports I've been reading, that's what they're blaming. And of course, the president is blaming, Putin, and we'll talk about in a second why he should not necessarily be blaming Putin. But amid a war that has raised gasoline prices more than $1.70 per gallon, historically high refinery profit margins are worsening that pain. So now let's talk a little bit about why this just is a bunch of BS and why Joe Biden, and I'm not political here on the channel, by the way, guys. I'm neither a Republican nor a Democrat. I'm actually more of a libertarian. I'm kind of in the middle here. So I can actually provide an unbiased perspective, right? So in my opinion, he is just doing this because of elections coming up, right? He's trying to come in and save the day and blame everything on Putin. But let's be honest, nobody, well, I guess maybe some people are buying this, but the majority of us, we're not stupid. We are not buying this. We understand that is what he's doing, right? And in reality, him revoking a key permit to complete the Keystone Pipeline about a year ago, I mean, listen, this is something that could be alleviated right now if that did not happen, right? Sure, we still probably would have had, Russia, Ukraine, but if we had that Keystone Pipeline right now rocking and rolling, which was halted by owner TC Energy again after Joe Biden, he ended up revoking the key permit. This could have been huge to providing oil to the American people, right? Because this is what, a 1,200-mile project. I think it stretched from Canada to Nebraska, if I remember correctly. So that would have been of huge help right about now. And don't get me started on all of the money printing from the end of Trump's presidency, Joe Biden's presidency. I mean, all of this money printing has caught up to us, guys. I mean, if you're telling me that has nothing to do with the price of gas going up, I mean, you're crazy. It's not the sole reason why gas prices are going up, but it's part of it, just like Russia, Ukraine is part of it. But the thing here that pisses me off about a lot of politicians is first of all, they'll never admit they're wrong for the most part, right? They won't take accountability, and they create problems just to solve them. I mean, it's such a bunch of BS. So they're solely blaming Putin for this, when in reality, that's only a small part of it. There's a lot more going on. The Keystone Pipeline, all the money printing, all the inflation that has been created, and now it has nowhere to go. I mean, this is what's going on right now, guys. Do not let people fool you, the president fool you. And again, I'm not political. I'm just keeping it real here, guys. I'm keeping it real. I mean, look at some of these energy stocks today. Exxon's down 5.6%. MPC is getting destroyed, down 6%. We have stocks like Chevron's probably down a lot. Oh my God, Chevron's collapsing, down 6%. Occidental Petroleum's getting nailed most likely. Yeah, down 3.7%. And this is, I'm not saying that we're going to collapse through the floor right now. In fact, I feel like this could be a buying point, but in the short term, we might continue to see volatility as we're getting the pressure here from the Biden administration. I mean, this might cause some volatility over the next couple of days, maybe even longer than that. No doubt about it. So we have Chinese stocks as well. Last I checked, they were making a move, but it looks like they completely erased that move. You guys can see Alibaba ran up to $113 in the pre-market, and now it's at $100. And the reason why this is happening is because China's central bank accepted Ant Group's application to set up a financial holding company, which fuels the hopes that China's regulatory crackdown was easing. And like I've said on the channel with these Chinese stocks, I own Alibaba and I own NIO, and they're smaller portions of my portfolio, but I do believe as these tensions ease up over time, which I know it might take a while, and I'm fine with that. But over time, I do believe these businesses will do very well, especially Alibaba. I do have some NIO, but Baba's a bigger position. I believe way more in Alibaba long-term than NIO. I do believe in NIO as well, but Baba's a higher conviction, to be honest. And if these tensions completely alleviate over time, I have no reason why I can't make a lot of money on this. So let's keep an eye on it. Between $100 and $105, maybe it starts making a move back up towards that pre-market high. We have companies like, and let me see, is there any catalyst as to why it sold off completely? Maybe it was just profit taking, or people are still speculative about it. But overall, Baba, watch it. JD.com's at a critical spot right now as well. We're in an ascending triangle. If this breaks out of 67, 68, JD's going to fly, in my opinion. We have companies like, I mentioned NIO, which I also own. Like I said, this is up 6% on the day. This is about to break out. I'm telling you, if NIO breaks 21, we're going to be at a multi-month high. There's a wide open gap to $25 from there. So these are a couple of stocks I'm watching now, guys, on the Chinese stock side. Also, Tencent, TCEHY. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments about energy, Chinese stocks, even though we really didn't talk much about the Chinese stocks. We mostly talked about energy. I just think it's all politicians are a bunch of BS, guys. Like I said, they create the problem just to solve it. I mean, if Biden really cared about the American people and, having low gas prices, he wouldn't have stopped that pipeline from, being completed. And I get it. I mean, he's trying to push the whole, green, everybody has electric vehicles, but that's just not reality. The average American, and mind you, he's trying to gain the vote of the average middle-class American. They can't afford electric vehicles. I mean, these cars are like 50, 60 grand at least. I mean, come on, get real with yourself here. But with that being said, that's it. Hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, and join my Patreon if you want all my moves, videos, morning videos, all that good stuff, more access to me. That's linked down below. And don't forget to get your 10 free stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit, and you get 6 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All that helps out the channel, guys. I appreciate you as always. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.